Destination Esports Wednesday Division 2 Championship here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm Rick Cannon, joined in commentary by Joseph Roberts. So Joseph will come in at a little bit of a later date. Just waiting to see if we have any more last minute people to join in or to see other things up. So we will just have to sort stuff out as we go along. Gotta hate it when the music changes on you. I guess we're all reading up, so we're not gonna be able to worry too much about who's not turned up or who's turning up late. Okay, so we've got an overcast condition here for the race. Sorry, I was just sorting out a last minute seat placement. They'll be doing the session soon enough. Already got a comment, so I'll just quickly pull that up. We've also got an F1 breaking news bulletin. I'll just quickly pull that up as well and see what that details. Oh no, it's stream for the 1997 Jerez, European Grand Prix, the Grand Prix of Jerez. I remember watching that as a kid, the 1997 Formula 1 review on VCR. So the first driver out on the circuit appears to be Michael Linnell from just gonna quickly check. Okay, Null and Mitch, whatever that means. It's obviously a certain so we've got 15 drivers for today's race. Maybe it'll move to 16 when the next person comes in. I think they might have already got in. We do have another one that's trying to get in it as we speak. So going forth on all this, we're just trying to both and so Michael goes to the top with an 18-1, followed by so just looking at the time, so Lankovic, who is Eustace, Mikhail D.A. Mikhail, he didn't race last weekend, so just gonna, what his name is, Mikhail, from Belgium, so he's gone to the top with an 18 dead. Scott Heidman has gone P4. Jair von Boss has gone P1 now with a 17.8, sorry, on the mediums. It's not too bad of a time. Photo, which is Thomas Berger, it's gone P4 with a 18.4. Diogo Cruz has gone P6, and of course Diogo Cruz back for the European Series and for Mark Mina has gone P5, he's a new recruit. Scott Heidman, as I say, is P8 with a 19.8. Luca Monteghezza, returnee to the Transnational eSports, is P9 with a 120.8 on the hards. So Theodore has now gone to the top, our race winner from the German Grand Prix, on a 17-1 on the mediums. Just watch it. So Mikhail's done 3 laps on the soft, which is not an ideal situation. You don't really want to be going any more than a lap on the soft tyre based on its degradation. Sorry, just looking for the mascot. Door's shut, so she can't get out, so just making sure she's alright. So here comes Michael around the last corner and does a 16.666. That's not too bad, actually. Haven't really seen anyone break into the 15s yet. Of course, nobody's really willing to go onto the soft tyre that often, so we do have a bit of difference in the situation. Now, I noticed that actually one of the other drivers that didn't make it to today's race was Ken Doyle's teammate Carl Costello, so it'll be interesting. Got a yellow flag. He needed to turn to an invalidation from Michael, but like I say, I wouldn't be going any more than a lap. And I would even be going as far as to say that once I've completed that lap on the softs, I'd be backing off big time to make sure I'm not further degrading the tyres. Now, you're going to notice a new piece in here, Glen J2J. This is actually Rick van Meteren from So 16.666 plays a 17.1 plays a 17.16. There's only 8/1000s of a second between second and third at the moment. Different compound of tyre. Bo Weechard has gone P5 with a 17.2. Scott Heidman's gone P4 with a 17.2. Dubnay is P17. Please. So we're just waiting to see. Oh, sorry, I haven't even got my data up. No, we've got an abandoned lap, so where is another driver? Okay, we've got Thomas Berger. So Luca Monteguez is actually elected to withdraw from qualifying. Sector 3, there's actually an incident here that's Mikhail's gone off. And it's quite a bit of a way to be going off the circuit. Well, going backwards before rejoining in the circuit. I've just noticed that actually that Mikhail was also running a similar helmet scheme that I was running, or have been running, for the last few races. The German style flag on the helmet. So Captain Iceman Milk, who I'm just talking to on Discord now about inviting someone. His name is, what car is he in? He's in Mercedes. Nick Bart from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So quite a bit of a distance for Mr. Iceman, but he seems to be having a pretty decent connection, just from the looks of things. Of course, Ken Doyle is the lobby host, so everything should be kind of normal. We should also have a pretty normal starting procedure as well. So Theodore was actually elected to jump onto the softs. I'm not 100% sure that this is a good strategy. We've got some cross liquor as well, so gets rid of the lag, but it doesn't necessarily help if you have a bad internet connection as well. So hopefully Joe should be oh, we got a spinner in. What was that? Is that a Mercedes? I can't find the. Oh, it was a Toro Rosso. Was it? That might mean it's just from cool. So, sorry, I was just having a giggle about something non-related. So, Mikhail's still holding down the pole position. It doesn't look like Theodore is going to go out on those set of tyres. Rick von Meteren has gone P5 at this point in time. Scott Hyman's gone P2 of the 17 dead, but he's taken 2 laps to do that. Bo Wheatshirt has gone P6 with a 17.7. Ken Doyle currently P9 on an 18.02. Now, was that set on the hards? Yes, it was. So there's quite a few drivers that have set their times on different variations of tyres that they're currently sitting on now. So Jair, who set his fastest time on the hards is currently now in the mediums. Same to you too, Luca, unfortunately, circumstances. So Ken goes up to P7 with the 17.3. So the top three, in fact, the top from position 2 to position 8 only separated by 0.7 of a second. In fact, even as far as to say that from position 2 to position 12 is just literally under a second. So Michael Linnell has taken a pretty commanding pole position by 0.4 of a second over the rest of the field. Unless Nick Bart has something to say about it. He's currently on an impaled set of softs, so I wouldn't be going too far up with that. Here comes Jair. Jair goes P3 for 17.0. So it puts two medium runners on the second row of the grid, and then another medium runner in position 8, and then of course we've got positions 11 down to 14. Diogo Cruz, hopefully not establishing that last or first, but it's definitely starting last. Well, he'll be third to last with a set of hards. So there we have qualifying for today's Grand Prix. Joseph, have you come back to us? Oh, I just noticed that Thomas Berg has been given a 5-place grid penalty for contact with his own teammate. That's an interesting one. Not very much in the way of invalidations, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 invalidations. A couple of warnings, of course, for speeding in pit lane, but I mean... Oh, and we've got Joe with us now, so welcome to the Combox, Joe.
Hello.
Just
in time for the race.
Yeah, just in time for the race, so pretty eventful qualifying that's just taken place. Michael Linnell has taken pole position with a 1 minute 16.666 ahead of Scott Heidman, Carterboy 55, and then we've got two medium runners as in Jair and Theodore, our race winner from the German Grand Prix last time around. Of course, we did have a week break pertaining the the time zone differences, so we're all full steam ahead for this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix for the Nationals, and then of course the Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday night for the Regionals. Of course, we've also got the Easter break. Well, we don't have an Easter break so much, but I'm saying for people that work, there's an Easter break, so a bit of a time to kick back and relax and enjoy some racing. So on pole position we have Michael Linnell, and alongside him is Scott Heidman from South Africa. Then we have Jair of the Netherlands, and alongside him is Theodore of Romania. Then it's Eustace of Lithuania. Alongside him is Rick von Meteren, normally Rick V. ML from the Netherlands, but using a different PSN because of being banned for calling someone a noob. Go figure. Position 7 is Nick Bart from the United Arab Emirates, Dubai to be particular. and Ken Doyle from Ireland in position 8. Then we've got Bo Wijert from the Netherlands in position 9. Alongside him is Joubert, which is Luc Costa from France. Actually, I think he said he was from the Netherlands. I do need to change that because he did tell me that later. He said he was with the France time zone, but alongside him is his teammate Michael of Belgium. Then it's Man van Veert. So he is also from the Netherlands, and then Diogo Cruz from Portugal in position 13, starting on the mediums. Look at them together, not actually in the server, but still registered on the list, is currently P14. He's of Italy. And then we've got Thomas Berger, who qualified in 10th, but got a 5-place grid penalty for contact with his own teammate. So Thomas Berger from the Netherlands in position 15. Then it's Mihajlo Bobjna, amazing 423 steel from Croatia, who is in the McLaren normally. He was late to the party. He managed to get back into his McLaren, and then position 17 is a driver that will be transferring over to the regionals today's race, and his name is Leon van der Geest. So we're now got the 5 red lights. It is a 5 red light normally, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Wednesday European server. And Michael has gotten off to a really good start. In fact, he probably didn't even need to cover heading into turn 1. Oh, we got a dive bombing McLaren of Eustace. I wouldn't say dive bombing, but he's certainly late to the party on the brakes, and it's caused a bit of chaos. Costa is around in the back. We've already got a virtual safety car as a result. There's carbon fibre strewing across the circuit at the moment, and a bit of concertineering going on as well. There's a bit of chaos back here. Happening all around, so a bit of carbon fibre flying around, a bit of drivers driving into the back of each other, and a few 5-place or 5-second time penalties being put into perspective. And this is going to get a bit ugly because Eustace was caught a little bit napping on the restart, and Rick Van Meteren managed to actually slide around the outside, and Eustace is actually slowing due to his damaged wing. So there's quite a few cars now that have a broken wing, so we'll be surprised to see who comes through. So at the moment, Michael leads from Jaya, and then Theodore, our race winner. In fact, Theodore's coming in, so I'm guessing he has wing damage. So Joe, that start not ideally as clean as you'd want it to be.
No, it's a bit. I think it's one of those corners that that is I would say a medium straight, so as in from the start, so you can gain positions from it, but it's the turn so sharp to the right. It's you can over brake yourself and hit a car and damage your front wing. But yeah, it's wasn't the cleanest start, but it's oh, that's interesting. I was gonna say it's only only a couple of cars, but we had, I think it's 8 cars into the pits, and they're all going on hards, except from the McLaren P15.
We just got Scott Hydeman around in the last corner. I wonder if he got helped off because he was being attacked by, I think it was a Haas. It might have been Ken Doyle actually, but either which way, he's made a good start. He's up 5 spots. Diogo Cruz is up 9 spots. In fact, there might be 10 now as he's trying to go around the outside of Ken into turn 2. Of course, turn 2 is a very narrow outlook. You can get the job done around the outside, you just have to be able to kind of get the traction out of the corner. So biggest winner has definitely been actually Amazing Steel has come up 10 spots as well. The biggest loser has been Eustace, has dropped 10 spots, and in fact he's coming back into the pits. Not 100% sure why. It doesn't look like he's got wing damage. Got a spinner at okay, so he's just elected to give it up, so at least he did it in the pit. So there are rulings against retiring on track in general, but you know, we always say that if you're having a bad race and you don't want to continue, to put it in the pits rather than retire on track and cause a potential drama. Now the other thing that we've had problems with in the past with that is that sometimes the AI, despite the driver retiring in the pit, it tends to sometimes still hang on, just hold that thought, just watching as a pit. There's a change for the lead. Changes for the lead. Oh, and Michael's ended up in a spin. Oh, he's stuck in the middle of the track. That's luckily he didn't collect anyone in his process. A good state of mind to stay kind of put rather than try and force a move that might have ended up with him getting a penalty or something like that. So the top 5, well, yeah, the top 5 are all drivers now that have started on the harder compound tyre, and 3 of these cars started more towards the back than anyone. So 10 spots for Diogo Cruz, 11 spots for Amazing Steel, 8 spots for Von Meter, or Mart Von Meter, and Jair's gone up 2. So yeah, there's some pretty big stories of what might have been for a few drivers, especially the ones up the front. Michael's only lost 6 spots out of that whole skirmish, so that's not too bad, but I think there was probably something a bit that must have happened during that process, because it did seem weird that he was kind of sliding out of control like that. So I wonder if there was maybe just a bit of contact as Diogo goes a bit wide. Michael has actually retired, and he's actually put it, if I'm not mistaken, so we've got a full course yellow, I think he's actually put it into the pit lane wall. We're about to find out. We're just going on board with a Haas. Just hopefully we'll see the car.
Oh,
yeah, he has too. He's just a little bit too shallow.
Oh, in the safety car.
Yeah, so full course yellow. So I think Michael's tried to go into the pits after his tyres are worn out, and he's just
Crossy boy is left.
So he's either just understeered into the wall, or he's just missed. It's not a hard thing to do, I'll admit. It's not a really hard thing. I remember doing a career mode in F1 2014, and oh, we got another disconnector. So yeah, doing a career mode, I just switched to Ferrari, I think, of all teams, for the mid-season swap, because Ferrari was only a mid-season swapping team for some reason. And there was like, I was doing 100% races, I think, and I was on the penultimate lap, I think, and I was chasing down Sebastian Vettel for what I think was about 4th place, and just was stuck right on the back of him going into that last corner, and just inched a little bit more to the right than normal, and then just grabbed the wall there, and it just took me out. So it's not a hard thing to do, and it is a very deceiving kind of corner, just because what we'll do is we'll go back on board with the Haas here of Noel. So as you come in, you get the wall kind of just pops out, which is why I've always wondered why that they haven't tried to fix it so that the pit wall comes more towards the actual entrance of the pit rather than into the corner, because you can make that mistake. And when you make that mistake, it does it can be dire. So
you also need to stay close to that wall anyway to.
Well, exactly,
get
and that's
the
the
best
other
steps.
part of the deception as well, Joe. You've hit it right on the head because you've got to be so dead on to that corner if you want to get a good run, either qualifying or if you are chasing someone for position. So the safety car is obviously going to help a lot of people that are ended up in the back due to collisions and all that, and it'll bump the field back up. So Jair's lead has been now chopped down from 4 seconds to nothing, and our top 3 are all on the same strategy as well as position 4. This helps people like Theodore mostly, who was starting up near up the front and got caught up in incidences. There are a few drivers that have probably taken this time to serve their 5-second stop-go penalties for collisions, but mostly for anything it's just a matter of unwinding. Been waiting for a little while for this message from Eustace, who's unfortunately called it candid on the race. Of course, he was the one that kind of started the Constantina on lap 1, being late on the brakes, heading into turn 1, and experienced it. I mean, it didn't cause so much as it didn't cause too much damage in the way that it took anyone out in particular in the first turn, but it did somewhat set up the playing field for the contact and the rest of it with the virtual safety car as well. So he ended up further back and then elected to park the car and call it a day. So we're on lap 7 of 35, so just covered 10% of the race. And Jair leads from Ken Doyle, then it's Diogo Cruz. So the safety car is going to be in on this lap. So Jair leading from Ken Doyle, Diogo Cruz, and Man van Viet, position 4. Then it's Michael Bubshav in position 5 from Theodore, and Bo position 7. Then we've got Leon van der Geest. So hopefully this safety car restart will be pretty decent. We're just waiting for Jair to get on the gas, and he has. Diogo actually got a really good restart over Ken. He was put a little bit napping here. In fact, I think Diogo's going to fancy a move up the inside here. He does, and he gets the job done. No real resistance from Ken at all. So a message here from Eustace: sorry to whoever I pushed in the very first corner. I broke on time a bit earlier than usually. Didn't lock up. Only after 2 terrible laps I found that I was only using a negative 30% of my brakes. Apparently after restarting my game, all of my wheel settings went back to default and was really unresponsive. Totally my fault. Sorry for potentially harming someone's race though. So thank you for your utmost honesty there, Eustace. We don't like seeing those kind of incidences, but you've put your hand up and you've said, okay, that's my bad. Hopefully I'm not going to hurt anyone's races now. Thomas Berger's ended up a little bit further back down the field after the restart, so he must have been caught up. There was a yellow flag earlier, so here comes Diogo Cruz. He's been a master of this, clawing his way through the field sort of gig. He's been used to it, but definitely looks like he's kind of found his form again after taking a bit of a break off from the Nationals.
And he's coming back as well in the Red Bull Tier 2, isn't he?
Yeah, them Red Bulls haven't seen eye to eye very well in Tier 2, so I'm just hoping that Diogo doesn't make it a third in a row, but tonight will be a definite understanding of whether or not my car for the regionals will be better with the new setup that I've acquired, so I'm hoping to test that out before the race. So yeah, Diogo right in the back. There's quite a good battle here in the battle for position 5. With a few hard runners. Theodore might fancy a move down the inside here at the chicane. It's not a very ideal overtaking zone. Sector 2 incident.
Oh, sector 2.
Mikael, I think, has had an off. Full, no, virtual safety
virtual.
car. So Mikael's had an incident, and that's caused him to lose his whole front wing assembly, and that's going to cause a bit of problems here for Thomas Berger, who's probably trying to play a bit of catch up, but he's managed to. So yeah, Mikael I think has probably gone off at turn 5, the auto spin curve, which is not too hard to do, especially if you mount the curve.
I've done that. I did that 3 times.
It's such a
yesterday.
It's such an upending corner in a way. What we'll do is we'll ride on board with Diogo Cruz as he chases down Jaye. Ken Doyle drive-through penalty for speeding up the virtual safety car. Oh, he's just missed it by a hair length, and he's ended up that's going to cost him big time. So that's going to put him, based on where he is at the moment, it's going to put him right back to the back of the chain, probably maybe even as far down as 14th. So that's killed. Oh no, maybe not 14th, at least 12th. Oh, he's just had a bit of a moment coming out of, and I've completely lost the process of what I was even doing. So let's go back to Thomas Berger. So coming into this corner here, so this curve here, if you nail that at any given state of the imagination, it just sucks the downforce straight out of your car and away you go. So it's an unfortunate situation to be caught on that curve, but it's an even bigger unfortunate situation for Ken Doyle now, who has to serve this drive-through. Unlike previous times when you can just serve it, don't serve it and take a 20-second time penalty, you have to serve it in the race. So if you get a drive-through near the end of the race, you can just take a 20-second time penalty and keep going. But for Ken, unfortunately, he does have to serve it. We did have a driver yesterday get disqualified for ignoring it. So let's see.
It's amazing still. He's got to have a decent opportunity of overcutting the Torosso.
Well, he's got the chance of overcutting the whole field, because he's currently only really 3 seconds behind the leaders, and he's on the hard tyre. So I think he started on the hard, so he will expect it to be jumping onto the softs or the mediums at some point during the race. And but yeah, he's looking quite strong at the moment. But yeah, Diogo is currently harassing the back of Jaye, and we should expect to see a position change in the coming probably a few corners. So we'll just have a look and see what Diogo can do coming around the last corner. Can he get a good run out of the corner? No, Jaye decides to go defensive, which he can only do once, so he's made his one move.
Diogo broke really late there and managed to stop it without locking out.
Yeah, I think, and this is one of the common things that, the people want to do. There's a lot of people that have been saying, can we do assist restrictions or no assist restrictions or things like that? But you just can't we can kind of do it, but it's just we don't want to do it at the moment because we've got such restriction as it is. As that's position 3. Where has he done that?
He's done it in the infamous.
Oh yeah, turn 4. So that's brought out another safety car. So Diogo won't be liking this. He will not be liking the idea.
Oh no, King!
Well, has he done the same thing?
No, he just drove straight into it.
It's a bit of a. Oh. So what? Did he understeer into it, or did he just?
No, he just drove into it. He completely drove into it.
That safety car would have saved him. but it's ended up being his undoing. So there are a lot of drivers at the moment that'll be Diogo in. So Diogo's decided if he can't win this by being on the front, Ken Doyle, I give up with this game. Oh, and Diogo's got a 5-second. Diogo had a server 5-second stop go. Now what on? Where did I miss something here? Oh yeah, there we go. Severe collision with Ken Doyle, 5-second time penalty. So that was on lap 1. So that was an interesting circumstance. Although that could be a lot to what had happened with the incident at the back. So I'm surprised Mikhail hasn't pit for mediums or hard, because he's certainly not going to make it to the end on the softs.
Let's go. Oh, wait, he's the.
Oh, we got
Mercedes one.
Nick Dahl off, and it looks like Jumbe's been given a 5-second penalty for a collision with him. No damage, so maybe. Oh no, there is a bit of composite wing damage to the side. Migrating host Ken, of course. Well, that's going to keep doing that, isn't it? I suppose as long as it doesn't impact anything else, we can live with that. Nope, there we go. So it's been. Now, I wasn't one of the people that was invited first, so that should change the host to someone within the server. Don't know who. He's just been given another 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane, so when it rains it pours, as they say.
Well, it's, even though the Mercedes and I don't think I have this person on this. Yeah.
I mean, for these things that happen in safety car, it's not so bad, but you know, it's still not something you want to happen.
Yeah.
So Jair's been able to hold off the charges from every driver so far thrown at him, apart from, I mean, we're still convinced that Michael might have been given a bit of a shove off from Jair into 2, we don't know. Michael hasn't actually said anything in the Discord about it, so there's no indication on whether or not there was a bit of foul play in the situation. Now, why has the positions between Diogo and Thomas Berger changed? Oh, maybe Diogo accidentally overtook him and gave the spot back. Yeah, so probably expect to see the safety car in maybe this lap. Now, I don't think. Oh, we do have a safety car in this lap. We do have another message actually.
I'm surprised. Oh, was damage? Was it?
Theodore with Bo, so
Yes.
So Bo's driven up. So this, and see, this is where the penalty system becomes a little inconsistent. So Bo has driven into the back of Theodore, but then Theodore's been given the penalty by like this.
Oh,
so look, there's another one. So now watch as Amazing Steel gets the penalty. No. Okay, then that's interesting.
That was a very mixed restart.
But Theodore's gotten a run on Amazing Steel. Oh, there's that. This is as close as you want to get to the pit wall to make an overtake. And down the inside, Theodore goes on Amazing Steel and gets the job done. So not too bad of a restart for everyone. Maybe a bit of a confusion at the pinnacle of point. So the first of the drivers to make pretty much their actual compulsory pit stop is Diogo Cruz in position 8. And he can get to the end on these medium hard tyres. The rest of the field kind of do still have the... Oh, Theodore's Theodore's massively spun off at the infamous turn 4. The last thing you want to do is when you go over turn 4.
Who's Bill? As
oh, and that's a dangerous rejoin and a half by Scott Heidman. Luckily enough, he didn't cause a DNF there, but there's a lot of carbon fibre and another virtual safety car. These guys just can't seem to get off this virtual vibe, or the safety car vibe. It's either a virtual or a...
Well, this has helped Diogo out massively.
Well, he's managed to stay out of the trouble that's been caused by it, but who got caught up in the incident this time? Because there's just carbon fibre everywhere through the middle and through the chicane. So Bosun...
Looks like it's the Renault,
Ricky,
the Red Bull as well.
Rick's in.
Oh, is he going to hit the back? Oh, no, he's not going to hit the back.
Theodore's in, obviously, and he's going to have to actually double stack behind his teammate, and that's a bit of a reverse play for Theodore, because he had to make Rick just wait for him last time around.
Put the soft tyres, that's interesting.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, Ken. The safety car is a little bit broken now, but I know, you know, it's good that we're getting them a lot more than what we used to. But yeah, it's just not. It's probably happening a little too infrequently to accidents that probably don't require them. Like, don't get me wrong, the incidences that we've had today probably have warranted the need for a safety car, but I have seen safety cars come out for just spins and whatnot, so there is room for improvement for next season's game, which apparently has been announced. So
I haven't seen it in the UK.
All I know is that from what I've been told, there are a few leaked rumours, one in particular from one Ben Daly, Tim McMardock, that F1 2020 might actually just be a add-on to F1 2019 with the 2020 cars and the 2020 tracks. So, I mean, to be honest, I heard that one last season, or last year when they were released in 2019, and they said that it was going to be a DLC to add on to F1 2018. That didn't end up to be so.
What I hope is they have this. If they do a DLC, obviously it probably have to do a paid thing to it, but I would hope they change the handling model.
I don't think they would necessarily be able to, based on the idea of that, because you would have to change the game mechanics for the whole game rather than for DLC. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a game where a DLC has a different feeling or a different game mechanic to the real game, so I don't think they would. So I would say more than anything they're likely to just release the game as a digital download, because of course we can't at this point in time we can't get Mihaville has been disqualified for ignoring his pit lane penalty, but when did he get a drive through? I'll just scroll through.
Oh, it's gonna hit the Diogo in the.
So he got a.
Well, I am checking.
He got a drive through for speeding under safety car, as did Theodore. So.
That didn't pop up.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe it did, but there was so much going on at that point in time, it was hard to figure it out. But I think that's why I think I saw Theodore come back into the pits too. I was wondering why. Oh, it's raining. If you look at Luca's perspective, it is actually raining in the pit lane. So maybe has Diogo made a mistake by pitting? Because he's 6 seconds behind the rest of the field. I mean, obviously you're gonna. I've got an incident. Miguel's had a spin out of. Where is that? That's.
Yeah.
If that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's had a spin out of 9, which you can do.
The Renault hasn't gone in.
So Jaye hasn't come in. Oh, we've got a contact in the back here. Oh, cars are just going off all over the show. DRS has been disabled, so Jaye is in massive trouble.
You just have to. Oh.
So this is going to put our debutant.
Ooh. You'd be able to get back. Yeah. Well done there.
Okay, so according to Amazing Steel, he got a drive-through penalty and he didn't know why, and he didn't know. So the game didn't obviously tell him that he had been given a drive-through penalty. I wonder.
Yeah,
there are sometimes some glitches where, and I've had them before. If I don't know if it's to do with whether someone joins in late or something like that. It causes disparity in the server for the game, and it can cause things to happen. And in some cases, it can cause you to not be able to see your notifications unless you're pausing. So if you pause the game, unpause it, it then shows you notifications for that split time. So it does, yeah, and even Ken's saying he got a drive-through for speeding under VSC, even though he was green on the Delta. So there's definitely something different happening here in this server.
13 seconds the gap between first and second.
And the rain now has, and this is, like I say, it's caused. This also happened to RP Amazing Sunday night, a quote from Matthew Elliott, who's watching the stream. So RP Amazing apparently got given a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, and it wasn't.
There's still two people on.
So Matt then asks the question: is it track specified? I know for a fact that in the past, Austria used to have a problem with desynchronization with the timing monitor. We had a particular race in season 1 where Stefan Numberger, our eventual Tier 3 champion of that season, went off, well, presumably went off the track in the formation lap and stopped. In fact, actually, Bo's just had a spin. There's still some drivers on the dry tyre. I'm a bit mystified that anyone would still be on the dry tyre at this point in time, but carrying on. So he ended up on the timing monitor being 30 seconds off the start of the race, and his car was even 30 seconds behind. It was stuck in a gravel track coming through Worth Curve, which is turns 5 and 6. And then as the race was going along, it kept shifting to say he was in the lead to then being back in the field. He actually eventually finished 3rd, I think, but of course the game didn't recognise it. And so maybe like what Matt said, maybe the pit lane penalties and all that kind of stuff that are being applied are all track specific to the glitches on this game. So we'll see what happens, but this is interesting because
full wets.
Yeah, full wets for Nick Baum in the Mercedes. So is it full wet condition though? I mean, if it is, he's made a pretty good call. He has been put a lap down by our race leader, who, like I said, only really got into the race today. I've got to figure out what seat he needs to be put into because there is a spare seat. Just trying to think where. But he will score these 25 points for Haas in the meantime. But yeah, it's an interesting one with. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, Codemasters has never been the most ideal server system for racing games. I mean, better than Project Cars, I suppose, in some regards. And GD Sport, of course, is a kind of a... Never really understood the servers of GD Sport all that much. But yeah, the games are always bugged with something in multiplayer one way or another. The problem I think it stems down to is just too much focus on career mode and all that aspect. I mean, it's great to have brand new features to career mode and all that to make it a more diverse story. But when you think about it, people only really play career mode for maybe 1 or 2 seasons, maybe 3 if you're not associated with a league racing association or something like that, give or take. But after
I've only played 1. Well, I've only gone up to USA.
I've only ever gone as far as the end of season 3 and then just never found the motivation to carry on. Because nothing really changes. Yeah, you've got your driver transfer systems and all that, so you do have drivers from, you know, you have Lewis Hamilton and that moving from like Mercedes to Williams or something like that. But that's also inconsistent too, because it seems to me that the AI driver transfer system only seems to accommodate for people for specific things. So for example, Lewis Hamilton will only ever move to the team that is on top of the driver performance ladder, never will go anywhere lower. So I think for me in season 2, I think Renault moved to the top of the tree, and then a couple races later he'd made the switch to Renault. And then in season 3, Alfa Romeo got to the top and he moved to Alfa Romeo. So it's pretty inconsistent. And Lance Stroll, I swear to God, always ends up at Ferrari at some given stage. Doesn't matter at which point, he always ends up in Ferrari. Now I don't know if that's to do with the coding for Codemasters or whether the actual drivers have made preferences on how they want to approach things when it comes to driver transfers. I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, obviously sponsors and all that wouldn't be too happy with the idea of drivers moving around in different teams and all that, and that's probably why you don't see, like, for example, Sebastian Vettel having different manufacturer badges on the helmet when they switch teams and all that. So I can understand that, but yeah, I think personally the server issues, to kind of get back on track, I think the servers suffer as a result of all these fixtures to for Codemasters trying to make a good story mode, which they do. I mean, I took my hat off to them. They do a good job with it, but it's just,
yeah, I think it's mainly to do with them having 2 teams, one focus on this game, for example, and then one focus on the next game.
well, yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know Codemasters not a massive company, but it's bought the shares of not bought the shares, it's bought Project Cars. I've got the studio.
Yeah, slightly. They've bought out Slightly Mad Studios, so they've obviously evolved. They've expanded their operations by quite a bit. I don't
Do Project Cars have good servers?
They're all right. I mean, there are the odd occasional bug here and there. The biggest issue, like I say, we were trying to do a Project Cars 2 league, probably about this time last year. The problem was, 2 and 3. I don't see anything though.
I think Michael's gone for a spin. Is it?
Sector 3 now, but nothing's coming up. But so yeah, back to the. So we tried it. I think our only biggest problem was the weather dynamics. It just wasn't flash. So the rain was too inconsistent, and when it rained, it dumped. So like you didn't literally have a transitional period like you do in this game, where you've got time to react and pit. Once it rained, puddles instantly formed, and you were in pretty much hot water for the whole race. So it doesn't look like at the moment that the wet tyres is giving Nick Bart any real advantage. In fact, if anything, I think it's actually hurting him more now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in for intermediates. Theodore, I think, has just either made an overtake on Scott Hyman. In fact, Scott Hyman's trying to make a move at turn 2. Probably a little bit ambitious, but he backed out of it, which stopped. So at the moment, given a 3-second penalty for extending the corner.
The Renault, this Renault's pulling in the gap on Diogo.
Jaya is too, so Jaya did crucially make a mistake, which has put him on the back foot a little bit, but actually the top three have been in pretty close proximity of each other since the race started, so it's pretty good to see that we've still got a decent battle that could go all the way to the checkered flag. Like I say, we'll probably put the Noel into the Ferrari maybe, or whatever is available at the time, because there are a couple of vacancies I think, but we'll sort them out as they come along in the week. So Jumbe's had a pretty good race actually. A pretty good comeback, because he's been in a few accidents today, and well, I mean, let's be frank, a lot of people have been in accidents today, but as he goes off the circuit a little bit, but he's made some pretty good ground back up. He's up 5 spots from where he started. Thomas Berger's up 9, because he had the 5-place grid penalty for collision with his own teammate, who is out of the race. Diogo is up 11, and then of course our race leader is up 16, so he's been the biggest winner and could definitely be the driver of the day. But of course Diogo's now within theoretical DRS range of Noel.
It's interesting that the Renault is catching Diogo.
Yeah, so it could be a good, interesting 3-way slog for the podium, pretty much, because the next driver, which is Rick, is 34 seconds behind. And I've been kind of fortunate to say so far I haven't done a Hungary race in the wet since season 2, where I finished I think 6th, which was my best result in a while, having been on the podium at Monaco that season. So we got...
I swear, if it rains on the weekend, I'm not going to be out.
Well, it is what it is, basically, but, this is the first wet Hungarian race. Oh no, sorry, actually the Americans had a race in the wet at the start on the Sunday. So this battle now is turning into a 3-way slog for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. I don't think any of them have any track extending penalties, so this is all fair to play, and there's 7 laps left to go. Yellow flag sector 1. There's a car spun around, I think that's Bo at turn 1. Yes it is.
Yes.
And yeah, so these 3 now all within a second of each other, or half a tenth of each other basically, but a second separates the top 3. And honestly, to be within 3 seconds, will be within half a second of each other in these kind of conditions would be absolutely debilitating, especially for Diogo. Not so much for the race leader, because he's got clean air and he's just driving to his own rhythm, but for Diogo and for Jair, these 2 are racing each other. Diogo won't be able to see because of the spray emitting from Noel, and then of course Jair won't be able to see because of the spray emitting from Diogo. In fact, what we'll do is we'll ride a ball with Diogo. Actually, Diogo's managed to make some ground up here. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually makes a bit of a lunge here. Noel actually left the door slightly open for him.
It's a hard, it's a hard track to overtake.
In the dry, much less in the wet. But of course, without DRS, you're naturally not going to have an advantage in the straight. But Noel just looking a little vulnerable as he was kind of weaving back and forth a little bit on the straight, just almost as if he was trying to figure out how to get the line into the corner. And of course, this will be alright for people that are using ABS and traction control, but for people like Diogo that don't, it's quite a tricky procedure, and he's been able to hold his ground quite well, and Jair's done a really good job as well to stick to the back of him as well. So no driver in the top 3 have actually gone and done the kind of just win it or bin it sort of situation. They've all played a very level head, so Noel's been playing the calm. Diogo just locks the rears a little bit, and that probably, I would have thought that it would actually set him up, or set Jair up. If anything, it's actually given Diogo just that little bit of extra momentum. Just have a look at his ERS. We're running on board with him. He is running overtake, and yeah, he's got this done. So it's almost like he had DRS, but no, he had overtake. What did Noel have? Yeah, Noel didn't have anything to answer back for, but there's still the opportunity here. We'll just keep on board for a minute as we watch now how Noel takes the situation. But I mean, definitely still driver of the day material. He's come from back of the field, literally position 17, and is currently now second place. Could, at the end of the day, if he stays out of trouble, his best result will be at least third.
Oh, the Williams is going to play a pass, and I think it's...
Oh yeah, Scott Heidman in the Williams,
Yeah,
so
Scott.
he's just a little bit further up, but I'm sure he will get the blue flags and will get out of the way, preceding that situation. But I don't see any blue flag icons being flashed at the moment, so surprisingly Jair has actually dropped off the back of these guys a little bit. Just managed to creep back into the under a second mark, but of course without DRS that doesn't make a difference. Now I think that actually, just looking at this on the main straight, it actually has stopped raining. So, Heidman going wide. I think he was trying to looked like he was going to let them through, but I think he was probably not convinced that that was the right spot.
It looks like it's going to be dry, maybe last lap or second to last lap.
Well, it could be, but and Jair's gotten through on Noel, so Noel's starting to struggle a little bit. Of course, Jair does have 1 lap fresher intermediates than these two, but I don't think that honestly makes too much of a human difference in these kind of conditions. But Diogo has definitely managed to hold his nerve and stay in position. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you one thing. This is the complete difference between having a commentator with you and not having a commentator with you. So as you can see, yesterday I was struggling to figure out what to say and what to accomplish, especially given that there was also so much going on in the Discord that I was trying to keep up with pertaining to the race. But when you have someone alongside you, it's so much easier, because if you don't have something to talk about, they might do. We've got a battle developing between Mikael and Thomas Berger as well, so there's a little bit at play. This is position 6 and 7. We've got Theodore not too far behind them, so he could capitalise on them if they make a mistake. And a 3-second time penalty for Nick Bart for exceeding track limits at turn 4, which is quite easy to do even in these conditions. It's interesting too, because in intermediate conditions, naturally your instinct is to stay off curbs and stay away from making track extending, because of course the outside of the track is a lot greasier than the...
Oh, Diogo went wide.
Well, exactly, as I say, he goes off wide himself, but yeah, the track is greasier on the outskirts and especially on the grass, so you're trying your best to stay out of that. But of course then you're trying to be as quick as possible as well, so you're kind of pushing your limits each and every way, so it's not completely, you're doing your absolute best. And Thomas Berger's been given a penalty. Actually, that's on the outside of the penultimate bend, and Theodore's actually managed to now really draw himself into this battle. So as I said, he's just been patient enough and the battle's now come to him. Jai's not completely done yet, so he could still play a one minute last dash sort of situation on the last couple of laps. And as the track will be drying up, or should be drying up, we're not 100% sure whether it will. Thomas Berger's gone off at 1 and he has reset the track. That's a first warning. Any drivers listening in on the stream, we do not acknowledge drivers who reset on track, as Theodore has now just cleared Mikhail for position 6. So Theodore...
It was interesting before the Trostero reset the track. It was, I think, in the fence. I think straight as in on the first corner in the fence. It must have been outbraked himself, or there was a spin. It was spun by somebody.
He's now at the moment about to be put a lap down by the front pack, but yeah, Diogo's just been given a 3-second time penalty for track extending. What I might do is have a quick look at the director and see if who's got what. So Jai will look for first.
I think Jai's got 2 warnings.
There's 1 warning. There's 2 warnings. Yeah, so Jai's only got 2 warnings, so Diogo at the moment is staring down the barrel of losing his win. With only 2 laps left to go, he needs to pull out a 3-second gap, but he can't really do that at the moment because
always somebody's risking it.
I think, yeah, his teammate is actually risking his race on a dry tyre to go for the fastest lap. I'm not sure I wouldn't call this appropriate, to be honest.
It does look like there's no spray on the tyres, so it looks like it's a dry track in sector 1. It also it depends if the tyres are basically cooled down because of going on to the wet part of turn 2 to let people pass.
Oh, and Jai's actually made the overtake stick on Diogo, so maybe Diogo knew that unless Jai got another warning and got a penalty for it, he was gonna lose the race anyway. In fact, if anything, he could still very well lose 2nd place. Because I think, actually, I'll do that again. So I'll quickly look and see what Noel's got. He's got one. No, he's got no. He had a 5-second penalty, which I'm imagining he would have served already. There's a warning there. Yeah, so
did Diogo go wide?
I don't know. He's lost a bit of ground, but yeah, Noel only has a 3. He's only got 1 warning, so Diogo looking to lose another position here. I'm guessing as the track is drying up, his car's obviously not liking its setup too much. Put it this way, if Jai got a penalty, there wouldn't be much to do for Noel to actually get this race win back, but I don't even know where you're going with that one, but Matt, so I'll leave that be. But anyway, Jai steering down the barrel of his first victory. DRS is enabled now. Wouldn't it be amazingly funny? Not that they would do it, because of course it'll be the last lap. But anyone who elects to jump onto the soft tyre from the top 3, just to be funny. I thought, nah, so takes that one away from me. But we've got 2 drivers on the softs. Bo's definitely looking to try and go for the fastest lap, though I think because he's a lap down, Oh, no, he might actually get one more lap in, but yeah, so now it's the final lap for Jaye. Oh, right, don't look at the race director while you're streaming. What? Anyway, but, so Rick has done a pretty good job to beat P4. He's been by himself for the most part. Theodore's been overtaken by Jun. Oh no, sorry, that was the other way around because he overtook Miguel, not Jumbo. Jubne. So just waiting for the conclusion of the race. So Jaye's got it comfortably with 3.1 seconds. This is the gap Diogo needed to win the race, but it looks like his car's just not really liking intermediates on a dry track. So maybe if the timing was a bit better on it, maybe one would have drove out and done maybe taken the gamble, jumped on the softs and gone for a last burst, but obviously no one would have reacted to it. So Jaye is going to come around the last couple of corners here, and he will be our first different winner of the Translation Esports Wednesday Division 2, and he takes it comfortably ahead of Diogo Cruz, and Noel will take position 2 off Diogo, so we will grab our top 3 based on that. So I'll just quickly send invites to them. Can you just quickly tell me what Jaye's PSN was? Jaye _083? Okay, cool. Alright. Just came up instantly, so.
Yeah, the drivers behind are struggling on these into the dry track.
Oh. Hey Joe, have a look at the security check-in station on the European server.
Must be fun.
We can talk more about it after the race, but once we're off here, but
okay.
Yeah. So Diogo Cruz, we've got here position 3, started at the back of the field. Probably, I know you're going to try and deny that, saying you were trying to do last to first, even though you couldn't because you were 13th. Good strategy. You were pretty quick on those dry tyres. Intermediate, you're looking pretty pacey. 3-second penalty. Unfortunately, near the end of the race, has cost you position 1 and 2. But position 3 is still good on your first race back to the Translation Esports. So just talk us through it.
Yeah, I think it was a nice track for me to come back. I'm pretty fast at Hungary, so I'm looking forward to the weekend. Unfortunately, I made a mistake 3 laps until the end, but congrats to Jer. He was really patient. I lost it, but it was fun, and it was not a last to first challenge. I was just very slow on qual. My bad.
We'll take your word for it. You're a pretty good liar, so we'll take your word for it on this one. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting first stanza. You also had a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ken Doyle at the...
Yeah, it was one of those safety car collisions, stupid safety car collisions. I don't know.
Yeah, so it is one of those interesting ones. We have been having a discussion about it throughout the commentary pertaining the glitches and stuff like that, whether the safety car glitching and all that was pertaining to a track like that. So we'll figure it out hopefully over the course of the next few games and whatnot, and hopefully we can find some kind of resolution to it. But either which way, congratulations, and we'll see you next week for the Belgian Grand Prix, but we'll also see you on Saturday for you for Hungary again in the Nationals. So we will now move to our race winner, Jair. Congratulations. Just before we get underway, can you just quickly check your party settings to make sure that your party chat audio is set to a share to all? Just because we've been having a few problems with people trying to talk and they can't be heard through the stream. But while you do that, so congratulations on your race win. You had some pretty mean pace on those medium tyres. You just managed to hold your own. You had so many different people challenging you for the race. Bit of an altercation, I think. We didn't quite see the whole story between you and the Ferrari of Michael.
Yeah.
I'll just get your view on that. But all in all, it looked like it was a pretty good race for you.
Yeah, it was a good race, but with the Ferrari, he went deep into turn 1 and I just did a switchback, and then he tried it again in turn 2, but I was way ahead of him and he tried to go down the inside, and I believe he hit my rear tire and he spun, and I was gone.
Oh, okay, so that explains it. So yeah, because it was just the way that we caught back onto the stream. It just looked like he might have been just given an escort off or something like that. So good to get some clarification on that. Yeah, because he said nothing. So well, I don't think he said anything personally, but yeah, wet pace seemed to be not too bad as well. So based on the information of knowing, you must have been under the impression it was going to rain at some point before the race had actually started. So what does a driver, just tell the viewers at home, what does a driver do to combat this situation? Do you alter your qualifying setup a little bit to have more wet stability, or do you just kind of wing it and hope that your setup that you're running is going to be alright in wet conditions?
Yeah, I did alter my setup for qualifying, and I drove with more downforce, and when it started to rain, I just added downforce to my front wing, and it helped, rearranging my brake bias and differential, and I had plenty enough pace on the inters. I caught up to 1 and 2, and eventually won the race. And also in qualifying, I also good pace, what I didn't expect. But I started P3, so that was surprising.
Well, yeah, sorry. So it was a good race for you. You've managed to be a different race winner from last week, of course. So congratulations on that, and we will see you
next week.
Yeah. So congratulations. So Joe, you got anything before we finish up?
Well, it's just a very exciting race. A lot of crashes, and then the rain spiced everything up as it does, and yeah, it's a very good race.
So without further ado, we will end things here. So congratulations to our top 3. I don't believe Noel ended up coming into the party. I'll just have a quick look. No, he didn't. So sorry, I might as well add you while I'm here. So thanks for watching, everyone. The Transnation Esports European Wednesday division. Hopefully it'll be my last one, because I'm going to try and find some different commentators, because I don't like getting up at 6 AM to have to commentate, no offence. But without further ado, Brett Keenan, Joseph Roberts signing out from Hungary, and we'll see you guys, well, Joe will hopefully see you guys next week at the Belgian Grand Prix. But of course, stay tuned later on tonight, 8 o'clock New Zealand Standard Time, for the Oceania race, where yours truly will be partaking, and hopefully we'll do well. So thanks for watching, guys.